Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk DIBBS, exactly mastering DIBBS, how to go from finding an opportunity all the way to bidding on this contract. Essentially, this whole video came from this comment right here. How do I even reach out to the vendor to get a quote? Well, that's a very valid question. As simple as it sounds, there's a lot of more complications into that specific question. Here's what we're going to cover in this video. We're going to understand the basic of the DIBBS. We will see how to find items in the NSN number. We'll understand what we need to do before the quote, but then also crafting an effective quote. And lastly, to answer that comment, we will talk about the process of requesting a quote from the supplier, whether they are the approved supplier or just a supplier in general. So what is DIBBS? It stands for the Defense Logistics Agency Internet Bid Board System. It's the official web-based portal for government procurement, specifically for the DLA. It is like SAM.gov, but for products for the DLA. It allows you as a vendor or a company or a business that sell a specific product or source a specific product to go find what the DLA is requesting. It could be anything, whether it's bolts, nuts, ammo, cleaning services. I have an entire video on that I would leave in the description below. What does the DIBBS buy and the 10 easiest items to break into DIBBS. So on the website itself of DIBBS, you can search for opportunities, submit the quotes, and track your awards. Now, how do you find the NSN number? NSN, which stands for the National Stock Number, it's a 13-digit that the government uses to identify what the item is. So bolts will have a specific NSN number, a specific bolt will have a specific NSN number, essentially like NAICS codes, which are more, if you could be more familiar with, that categorize an industry. NSN is the SKU or product number that categorizes a specific item. So how to find those NSN numbers? You want to search them, review them, and check the codes. There is FLIS website that you need to register. That is a government website, but you also have the AMSC codes as well, which these are the acquisition method codes. I'm also going to leave a link below in the description that goes through all the AMCs and which ones you need to focus on and which ones you don't want at all, because some are more of a headache than others. And now here's how you identify the approved manufacturers. Number one, as we just discussed, the AMSC C letter. So they go by alphabetical letters, and C means it requires engineering source approval. So for anything that got the letter C, it requires a pre-approved vendor because it's an engineering sourced kind of a. The second important one is T, the letter T, which is controlled by the QPL, Qualified Products List, and the procedure of this item must come also from qualified source. So specific vendors are registered to provide those items. Lastly, SAR, if it's not an approved source, you can submit a source approval request to become eligible to quote. And that is more on the vendor side rather than the bidder part. So you don't need to be doing it if you're just bidding, but if you are a manufacturer, then you would want to possibly submit an SAR form. Now, we're going to talk about the before your quote essential registrations. Obviously, the basics, you have your UEI number that you got in when you registered on SAM.gov. So you need your SAM.gov registration and the cache code and your UEI. And lastly, DIBBS registration. So you also need to go on DIBBS and register after your registration on SAM.gov. It's a separate registration. However, it's a little bit easier since you've done the part where you are now a company that is identified to work with the government. So we're going to talk about how to craft your quote and the key language to use, and then I will show you a real life example on how I do it myself. You're going to want to reference the solicitation. So you get the solicitation number and the line item details. If you are ambiguous in your quote, you will be disqualified. It's very easy system that the way DIBBS review their quotes. A lot of times, actually, it's not even a human reviewing those bids. It's a machine. And they say that as well. You need your part number and cache code, so include the cache code and the exact part number you are offering, the pricing and unit of issue. So they usually tell you how many units they are. So that's where you would state your price per unit to match the unit of issue specified in the solicitation. So let's say the DIBBS is asking for 100 pens. You would say each pen is going to cost you $1. The total amount of your quote is $100. I'm not so bad at math after all. Delivery and compliance, you need to specify your time and your timeline in here. So confirm compliance with the packaging standards such as MIL, SCDL, SCD 129. We're going to talk about shipping requirements later as well. And this is where it gets tricky and no one really talks about it. Technical data and drawings. Step number one, you need to find the solicitation on DIBBS. Step two, access the C folders. Step three, contact DLA office in case you need any more information. Many DLA solicitations will include specific technical drawings or specifications that define exactly what must be delivered. And these documents, they are so critical. A lot of people skip those documents, especially the drawings. For specific restricted drawings, you might want to reach out to the DLA to get access to those drawings. Now, how do you locate the approved sources that we talked about in the RFQ? We mentioned the web FLIs or the RFQ, so utilize the web FLIs website to search by NSN, and then you would identify the cache codes approved by the manufacturers. They could also be listed in the solicitation. Most of the times they will be listed in the solicitation of who is the approved sources. the approved vendors. So carefully examine the RFQ to see the approved vendors. And lastly, the AMSC guidance, refer to the acquisition method suffix codes for source restrictions or qualifications. Again, there is a link below on how to read those codes. Now, I will show you exactly how I do it. You can do it on the DIBBS website and get all the information yourself. I'll show you how I do it using another software called SAMSearch. And after that, we're going to talk about how to draft an email and how to reach out to the vendor to ask for a quote. So we're going to go on the search tab and we'll go to the DIBBS section. We're just going to look for cleaning items, which is a broad basic search. And then we'll go and see what are our options. A lot of times the DIBBS titles are a little bit of a gibberish. So we have a smart summary right here that is generated by the AI on what this contract is for. Tells you the NSN right away. And let's go ahead and click on it. You get the smart summary, and right here you will have the AI broken down entire overview of the solicitation and all the requirements. So the solicitation overview, this is what the contract is for. The technical and delivery requirements. Items must be delivered within 17 days, origin, destination. All items must be packaged in accordance with this specific law and requirements, materials, restrictions, etc. Compliance submission to invoicing, we'll have them right here. They are looking for 189 quantity. So it also breaks down how many quantities they want right away. This is the NSN number. And then when you press this button, it will show you all the approved sources. So we have 3 approved sources right here, their case code, part number, and the company. So all I have to do is reach out to these companies with the specific part number and ask them for a quote for 189 items for the cleaning stick. And then if we scroll down, we'll see the procurement history. It is very important to be competitive when it comes to bidding on DIBBS, because a lot of the times, I would want to say 99% of the times, it's going to the cheapest bid. So you go on here and you see the past bids. So this one was very recent, February 25, 2026. The unit cost was $33. So you would want to come in with an expectation of how much this item is going to cost you. And then the one before, January 28th, it was for $35 an item. And then for August 4, 2025, it was $27 an item. So you will have an average unit cost, the weighted average cost, observed price range, and coverage window. So you have all the information about the pricing in the past awards to give you exactly a good estimate on how much this bid should be. So right now they're doing 180. They need 180 cleaning sticks. We go do 189 multiplied by 33, and that could be your range of bidding. You will have access to the attachment right here, which is what the DIBBS will give you. We're going to go ahead and actually take a look at how this opportunity looks on the DIBBS website. So you navigate by this page, you go okay, and this is what you will get. You will have the NSN number, the name of the item, and the purchase request quantity. And then you would open the solicitation attachment. Okay, it's being downloaded. So we're going to download it and we'll open it on our browser. And then you can just go on here and try to find the resources as well, understand everything about the opportunity, and you will see all the information right here as well. Now we're going to talk about how to reach out to the vendor. Now that we know how to locate that vendor, you need to specify the NSN and part number. You need to share the technical data with the vendor. So attach any relevant DLA technical drawings. It's not going to be technical for something like cleaning sticks, but the more technical it gets, the more you would want to give more information. You need to state the delivery requirements. So clearly communicate the required delivery date and any specific packaging or shipping instructions. And lastly, you need to request an all-inclusive pricing. Ask for the unit price, the total price, and for the minimum purchase requirement and quantities, the time, and include any potential surcharges. The last thing you would want to do is after you send your bid, get it approved by the government, place your order, ship it to the government, and then the vendor will reach out to you, billing you extra for something random that you didn't account for, and then the government you didn't account for it with your government bid, so you will actually end up being short on the dollar amount. So that is either going to eat your profit margin or even end the bid with a loss. We're going to take a look on how to write a supplier quote email. So this is a quick template that you can use. Subject, quote, request, NSN, the NSN number, supplier part number. Dear supplier name, we are preparing a bid for government solicitation through national stock number, manufacturer's part number, quantity required, 189. This is if you have any attachments to include. The required delivery date for this solicitation is insert required date. Please include any specific packaging or shipping instructions if applicable. We kindly request an all-inclusive quote detailing unit price, sincerely, all that kind of stuff. This is something you can also automate on SAMSearch. So you can go on the DIBBS opportunity, click new chat, and now you have the ability to chat with this specific opportunity. So you can either ask it like find me vendors, give me the vendor contact information, or you can just ask it to write the email for you. So I asked it to write me an email for the quote, and now it'll go ahead and read the contract, and here you go, you have the email generated. So you'll see it says request for a quote, cleaning sticks, solicitation number, dear vendor contact name, since we didn't choose the vendor yet. That's my company, we're asking for a quote, the national stock item is this, quantity is this, is all basically coming from the solicitation. All the information right here, detailed quote requirements, deadline to receive quote. Please submit your quote by no longer April 23rd. And then Humam Hawara from this consulting company. So this also speeds up the process by a lot in terms of how you can streamline your process. When it comes to DIBBS, a lot of times it's quantity matter as much as quality. You need to put bids out as much as possible. So I hope you found this video helpful and that I answered your question. And if you did find it helpful, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Your support means a lot to me, and I'll leave all the resources below in the description. And again, if you have any questions, I also read the comments, so leave them down below. And thank you for watching.